Child's wish come true. Valley News Live is once again teaming up with Make-A-Wish for its Miles for Smiles drive today.
And the Valley today is Brian Sherrod. He joins us live this morning with how you can help grant wishes for children in our community. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. I'm here at the Hector International Airport, where using or donating your unused airline miles can actually help grant wishes for a kid with a critical illness across the state. It will help them with their traveling. Now, look at the pictures on your screen. These are just some of the kids that you'll be helping with your donations. More than 75% of wishes granted do require air travel. This is the largest expense of the chapter's annual wish budget. Miles from Delta and United are accepted. Once the miles are donated, they never expire. Now, 100% of the donated miles stay in North Dakota. Now, miles will be accepting by calling the number provided on your screen. That is 1-800-362-9474. Miles can also be donated anytime online at wish.org/North Dakota. A minimum donation of 1,000 miles is required for Delta and United. So once this pandemic is over, these kids will be able to use these travel miles to help make their dreams come true. That will add smiles to their faces, and it will also help give them hope. So once the pandemic is over, like we just mentioned, it will be able to help them out.
The rest of us aren't traveling anyway, so donate your miles right now so they don't expire, because they don't expire ever if you do donate them to Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, and we have more information on this on our website, valleynewslive.com. There is a banner right across about the middle of our website. Let's
get a check now of our First Alert Storm Team forecast. Starting off quiet out there, and Lisa, it sounds like we're going to see a little more sunshine maybe today.
Yeah, we're looking at a pretty good day here. If you don't mind the wind, of course, in the valley, we know that most days when we're warming up in the winter, it's thanks to some stronger winds, and we'll see that today. This morning, it's looking beautiful out there. This is in Grand Forks at Home of Economy. We're looking toward that sunrise. That'll be up a little bit after 7 here this morning. A nice, pretty quiet, calm start to our day there. Now, there's one spot I've been keeping an eye on for some flakes. This was a little while ago, but from the DOT cam, the latest image there from the Badger area shows a little bit of snow coming down in that area, basically along Highway 11 and into Roseau County here this morning. That will eventually move on. Looking at our road conditions right now in North Dakota, it's looking better than yesterday. But just want to let you know you're going to still want to use some caution, especially in places where you're seeing the purples and yellows on the highways there. That's where we're looking at still some snow or ice or compacted snow on the roads, especially northeastern parts of North Dakota in our viewing area, and stretching all the way down to, the Valley City region. Some reports of a little bit of snow or some type of frozen material on the road, either snow or ice, affecting conditions there. So easy does it. Temperatures are below freezing. Most of us in the teens. 9 though in Grand Forks. That's our cold area there this morning. Fargo's at 16, and some of us in the 20s still this morning to start. In the east, we've been seeing that here this morning. Here's a look at your radar and satellite map. Radar not quite detecting much in the way of snow at the moment up in the northeast, but we've seen some of those cameras indicating that there are a few flakes. By the way, our Mayville radar site is back, so we're going to be able to see that snow a lot better here as we continue on into the forecast this week. And as we are looking off to the east, you can see those clouds that will eventually be departing. Here's a look at your bus stop planner this morning. Sending the kids out, they'll want the coat and the winter hat and all that because, when you factor in even a little bit of wind, a 10-mile-per-hour speed, wind chills are going to be in the single digits, despite the fact that in Fargo right now we're in the teens. Heading home from school, a lot milder. We'll be into the 30s for highs today, more sunshine. Everybody gets in on that sunshine this afternoon. But keep in mind, steady speeds for your winds in the teens, but we're going to have some gusts this afternoon into the 20s, approaching 30 miles per hour. Heading into the rest of the week, we'll see that chance for snow return Friday night and into the weekend, and we'll warm up ahead of it quite a bit on Friday, back into the low 40s, but this weekend cooling back in the wake of that system.
Yeah, Friday looks awesome. And today not bad, except for the wind. So thank you, Lisa.
An arrest warrant has now been issued for a former West Fargo Public School business education teacher who is charged with luring a minor on the internet. Ronald Thompson resigned abruptly earlier this month after police obtained a search warrant for his property at home and at school.
West Fargo police say they got a tip from a Florida law enforcement agency that investigates online child abuse and exploitation. Police say 58-year-old Thompson was attempting to solicit a minor who was actually an undercover agent in a different state. School District officials say they are confident that the investigation has no direct connection to the schools here or any students. A Minnesota family says it seems to be one thing after another. Nearly a month ago, we told you about a horse that was shot and killed in rural Earhart.
Now we're learning about a barn at that same place. It was burned to the ground. Authorities say the barn is too badly damaged to determine a cause, and there is no way to tell if the fire and the horse being shot are connected in any way.
It just seems very overwhelming. I know we're not supposed to get more than what we can handle, but it's just been so much.
Life on Yvonne's farm has been anything but easy in the last month, and she says she's now just hoping that her family can catch a break.
We are just weeks away from the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, who is accused of killing George Floyd, and the area around the Hennepin County Courthouse in downtown Minneapolis starting to look like this, a war zone. The plaza out front is surrounded by metal fencing and concrete barricades.
City workers are also installing razor wire in various sections to deter people from going into secure areas around the courthouse. The jail, just a few blocks away, has also been heavily fortified in recent days, and more measures will be put into place over the next several days. Grand Forks police are asking people to check their security cameras to see if they caught a car crash that seriously injured a teenage driver. It happened around noon yesterday in the 1500 block of Ryder Road. Police say the 16-year-old driver lost control and hit a tree, which badly damaged the driver's side of the car. The driver suffered life-threatening injuries.
One woman is fighting critical injuries, and a teenage boy is facing charges after a 3-vehicle hit-and-run crash on I-94 in Ottertail County. This happened yesterday morning near the Fergus Falls Overpass Bridge on I-94. Police say it started when one vehicle crashed on the interstate and the driver got out to check the damage. An oncoming car then hit her and smashed into a tow truck and then a third vehicle. Now 2 people inside the car that hit the vehicles say tried to run away but were caught. The 15-year-old driver was later arrested. 30 people are now under federal investigation for drug trafficking on North Dakota reservations. North Dakota U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley says the investigation into the Rube gang deals with opioid dealers that are based out of Detroit.
He says the suspects target and prey upon low-level dealers across Indian country. Wrigley says the gang is responsible for a significant proportion of opioids brought into North Dakota in the past 4 years. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is expected to provide more information today about expanding the eligibility for other groups receiving COVID-19 vaccines.
A news release issued last night indicates that he'll announce that the state will vaccinate at least 70% of Minnesotans 65 and over before expanding eligibility to other groups, and they will aim to reach that benchmark by the end of March. There may soon be a new weapon in America's fight against COVID-19 as soon as tomorrow. That's when an FDA advisory committee meets to study the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
And the formulas may get emergency use authorization at that meeting. The Biden administration says if approved, it will be in a position to ship out 3 to 4 million doses of that vaccine next week.
We now want to get the answer to our question of the morning on Facebook today. That question was, in a poll of 1,000 mask wearers, 1 in 4 admit that they have done this.
What is it? A lot of people were guessing sneezing inside the mask, but the actual answer to this question is they have shared a mask, hopefully not with a stranger. I would admit that sometimes inside my own house, I'll be like, just wear, you know, for my
you
daughter.
never know whose one it is. You're like, who has this black mask? They all look the same.
They all look the same. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but remember, the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more live, up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.